you say your names.
Butch Lukic.
And I'm Shane Glines.
And I'm Alan Burnett.
Oh, wow.
Told me to come over here at the last minute. Save you guys.
No, we just started.
Could you discuss scoot together as much as you can?
Did you guys discuss the impetus for Justice League Action, the origin for the show, and how the pitching process began for it?
Yeah, basically, originally we were supposed to be doing the new Batman series, but me and Alan got together and Paul Dini, I think, and then eventually, a week later, it was suggested we do a Justice League show instead because there was a gap between a new series plus the movie that's going to come out. So we got to go ahead and do a Justice League series, but there's one catch. It's going to be 11-minute episodes, which is going to be a nightmare. Alan, back to you.
Well, and we want to do a show for kids. We wanted to appeal to boys in particular, and so at first the show was a lot more action-y than it turned out to be. Because as we got into it, we found that the action played better with some comedy, character quirks, and so it is in a way an action show with comedy. But the action's always serious. The fight is always serious, and we ended up producing a show I think that is going to get a lot of kid attention. But it's the kind of show that parents can watch along with their kids.
Right, and that's always been the case with any of these series. It is geared towards kids. It has to be. But Warner Brothers, we've always done superhero shows where everyone can watch it, and there's a lot of fan things in there that people can latch onto from the past, or things that read in comics here or there. We always throw that stuff in.
Well, 11 minutes isn't long to focus on any character. How do you give each of the Justice League members enough attention in those 11 minutes?
We sort of mostly focus on like maybe 3 of them at a time.
Yeah.
And that's it. And we want to put Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman out there in front. So they're featured in most of the stories. At least one of them is featured in most of the stories. And that's how we did it. And over this season, I don't know how many characters. Well, how many characters do you think we
Lost count.
Well, 152.
No, not really. Really?
Yeah. At least superhero-wise, we're probably at least up to 60 villains probably right now, 40. And then sub-villains and things like that. That all adds up.
Who's the most obscure comic book hero you were able to include in that 60 superheroes?
I think maybe Constantine at this point.
True, I forgot that we even used Constantine.
Right. He's in quite a few early episodes, plus Demon.
And Space Cabbie.
Space Cabbie is a fresh one, yeah, but he's definitely a character that DC wanted involved in the series. So. And it turned out to be a good choice. We definitely can go a lot of places with Space Cabbie. And Patton Oswalt is playing Space Cabbie, so that's great.
So just doing designs and costumes for these characters, did you take more liberties with some of the more obscure characters than you might with Wonder Woman or Batman?
Yeah, with the main 3, they've been done so well by Bruce Timm and other people that it's always hard to come up with a new twist. Someone like Space Cabbie, I'd never heard of before, so I had to go to Google, find out who this is, what he looks like, and how we can kind of modernize him a little bit.
Did DC have a lot of input into which characters would be included, and did they say no to any that you might have wanted to use?
They gave us a list at first, and that was kind of based originally on the 52 comics. And those were, the list of characters in there were what they wanted, and it was pretty much what the ones everyone wants, and plus some odd ones. So we definitely got most of those in, plus a few that we thought of that would fit. Oh, this is Jim Krieg, by the way, our other producer. Co-producer.
Who were your favorite characters to work with?
Always Batman. Firestorm is one that we all found surprisingly fun to do. Even Demon was great, in a couple episodes we have, and Space Cabbie also, again, he's great all around.
Any of the Jack Kirby characters are fun visually.
We've thrown Apocalypse in, and we've got some, Apocalypse stories that were never told before in other versions of Justice League and superhero things, so those should be fun.
It's okay. Are any of the storylines from episodes pulled specifically from issues of comics?
They're based. Some of them are based.
We use the word stolen. Some are loosely based. Literally, there's an episode that was Alan's favorite comic book from when he was a kid.
Yes.
And we found a way to adapt it into a multi-part episode, which you will love, I hope.
Which one is that?
I forget the name of it. It's like number 11 or something like that. It's one where they have to disguise themselves as each other, so that they can
Against the Brothers Jin.
Yes, we call them the Brothers Jim, but I'm not sure who they wouldn't call that.
Oh, the Demons 3.
The Demons 3, and if they said their name as they were casting a spell toward them, then that would cast a spell. But if they said the
you'd lose your powers.
yes, well, and but if they were disguised as other superheroes and they said the name of the person they it's always this complicated. but
And we get that done in 11 minutes.
Yes. But if they said the wrong name, then the spell wouldn't have any effect, which is why they mixed disguises. I loved it when I was a kid, and it was a hard one to put together. It was.
I'm sure those are your favorite episodes, but did the rest of you guys have a favorite episode this season?
I really like, there's a haunted house episode with kids set during Halloween, and they're dressed up as their favorite heroes. It's probably my favorite so far.
Yeah, that's a
I think
good
that was written by Paul Dini.
I can't say I have favorites because my directors will get pissed off at me. So all of them are my favorites. Plastic Man Saves the World, that's one that we got upcoming, and it's a beautiful looking show. It's also the first time we show Metropolis, and it looks pretty nice. Watch out for that one. And the one that we premiered for this convention.
Any booster episode with Diedrich Bader's boosters, they've all become one episode in my head, but there's not a dog. There's not a dog in the whole show.
Jim wrote a great Booster Gold episode. It's on Dinosaur Island, basically. It's going to be a winner. We haven't got the animation back yet. It's written.
So, I hope they send it back.
For your 150 characters, will you guys be taking an approach similar to Brave and the Bold, where you had sort of a core cast of actors to pull from, or will there be a number of different performers coming in and playing these roles?
Well, we have the core cast, and obviously the Trinity, and whoever is the major character. And then it's all about whoever comes in as a guest part, whatever we feel fits, for that voice.
I gotta say, Wes Gleason, who casts for us and does the voice directing, has brought fantastic people in, and people out of left field who you would just think, oh, really? Hannibal Burrs is our Mr. Oh my terrific! He's Mr. Terrific. I was like Mr. Swell, Mr. Fine. I got Mr. Fair Play.
And that was Jerry Bastian. He wanted Hannibal.
Oh yeah,
He's a big fan of
That's
those
right.
two. But Wes, when I first worked with him about 2 years ago, my interview with him was I had to interview other voice directors. My first question was, well, who would you get to play Batman? And right away he said Kevin Conroy. I said, all right, you're hired. I said, listen, I got to go through these others as a formality, but you've got the jobs.
Well, now you know what to say when you're applying for a job with Butch.
It'll change.
So how's it been working with Batman, the voice of Batman?
Yeah, but for Wonder Woman and Superman, it came down more to he found two newer people that we've never heard of, and they're up and coming, and their voices were just dead on perfect for what we felt the characters feel like and should sound like. And Superman has that more human, wholesome voice that carries through. I mean, Jason's definitely got that voice, and he also does a lot of other voices for us. Speaking of which, we're going to have General Zod and everyone involved in the show. So.
Right, when he says kneel before Zod, you just one tear down your cheek. So it's Jason Lewis and Wonder Woman is Rachel.
Right. Rachel Kimsey. She's playing the female character I forget from the fan. So.
The one wears the flag.
Yeah, that one. All right. You're supposed to know all these characters, not me.
Yeah, that's a Wonder Woman.
Will we see more Superman family or villains in Justice League action?
Yes, yeah. I think you're going to find that many DC stones have been turned, and we pull those worms out and put them in the show.
What you think in the Superman family might show up will show up. We just can't say.
So, something I've heard a few people say is, despite the comedy, this is not Teen Titans Go. But also with the flexibility of the characters, it seemed to me like the cyborg character you're using is very much in line with, as his name in Teen Titans Go. Is it a matter of him being the most recognizable version of that character at this point, or most interesting to use with this cast?
It's about, Corey Payton plays Cyborg all the time, and I think that's part of the bridge with the other shows. As far as what DC is concerned, and we love him, he'll always be Cyborg until he relinquishes that crown.
There's a piece of paper floating around. Kari's gonna sign. Let me tell you, he ain't never gonna sign.
With the movies now and the TV show, there's like a bigger ecosystem. Are you guys gonna talk? Are you gonna mention sort of like the movie angle at all, or is it just a separate world?
It's separate from the movies, for sure. It's our own little pocket universe. It's Earth 511. I don't know what.
And it's always been with the movies. They've always kind of told us, well, don't do what we're doing. And we're all sitting, well, we weren't intended to.
Who are your favorite villains that you want to go against Justice League?
Well, definitely Darkseid and the Apocalypse villains. Steppenwolf is a great one too. And, I'm more of a Jack Kirby fan, so the DC canon, Alan, anyone?
There's so many. Lex Luthor.
Played by James Woods for us. Hilarious and scary. We have the Riddler, who's Brent Spiner. Who also did an amazing job. We have Michael Dorn's Atrocitus.
Right.
That was, I think, Wes Gleason, who I mentioned, I think he caught, because they have to throw out the names, and he caught on that I was a Trekkie, and he's like, if I throw in a Trek reference, I know they're not going to say no. So John Delancey is in there. So it's been a blast for me.
We have Mr. Freeze, and that voice you'll recognize when it shows up. Yeah, and we brought back someone to play that character. We were initially trying for someone else, but they had other obligations, but it paid off to get back the same character or actor that played him 20 years ago.
Are the episodes mostly going to be structured as standalones for every 11 minutes? I know you said there's a couple multi-parters, but any arcs or anything like that?
Right now we have to keep with a standalone, and we are doing a premiere episode for Cartoon Network, which would be more of a 4-part bridge. But beyond that, it's supposed to be a series that every episode is on its own. Even though the characters work through all these episodes, there still is a feeling that they all are together. Who knows about the future? We might stretch that out to doing more arcs, but right now that's what we're doing.
When does it premiere?
Right now we're probably looking at end of August or middle of September. It's about our target date. But that's up to Cartoon Network.
Do you have a number of episodes that you're thinking about?
Yeah, 26, 22 minutes, but they're 11 minutes, so 52, 11 minutes.
52.
Yeah.
It's been a long year.
2 years.
Oh, it just seemed like one. I guess it was shorter than I thought.
For you, it felt like a year.
So it will air in a half-hour block?
Yeah, it will. So each episode will have the opening title, and then it ends at 11 minutes, and then it'll have end credits, and then the next episode will start and do the same thing. So there'll be commercial time, I'm assuming, in the middle of that. Who cares about commercials?
Do you have a final question? Do you have a message for the fans of Justice League as they get ready to watch this new series?
Yeah, I hope everyone sees it and sees what it. You know, it's nice to go back to the past series and everything, but that had its day. We're a couple decades almost into a new era, so it's time to do something slightly different. But most people that love the old show will feel like these are those characters, so that's the good part.
Well, thank you so much.
I really appreciate it.
Fabulous microphone. That's like a pet. Yeah. How are you? How's it going? What a beautiful view, huh?
Yeah.
Not of me. I'm sorry. Look at all this technology.
Justice League action.
Justice League action.
What's the feel of the show? How would you describe it?
I would describe it as a much more fast-paced. Any of the Super Friends that you can think of. It just goes really fast. The animation style is super saturated colors. The action is really fast. The comedy comes with a certain knowledge of the characters. So they never betray the characters, but they kind of tweak it a little bit. I think it's going to be. I love the 11-minute. Part of it because it's really good for people with really short attention spans like myself. So they just eliminate the first act. There's no setup. Just go right into the heart of it. No, this is our story. We're telling it right now. Where are you from? Doesn't matter.
It's great.
Yeah, it's good.
And you're Booster Gold, and of course you played Batman as well. Did Kevin have any little Batman offs in the booth?
Yeah, I mean, at first there were fist fights. I'll be honest about it, but all I do is a bad impression of Kevin anyway. So for me to be in a session with Kevin was really, really great. I was totally geeked out on him. The first time that we had a session, I took a picture with him and then tweeted it, but then I realized I'm not supposed to say anything about the show because it was before it was released, this thing. So I didn't even know what to say at that point. It was already out there. But no, I'm a huge Kevin fan. So recording with the real Batman was really great for me. I was really happy. Yeah.
Is Booster bringing more of the kind of, there's a light comedy in it? Is he bringing more of the comedy?
Booster was a lot of fun to play. They gave me a lot of room. They let me improvise. A lot of what I did was in there, and so I would go to lunch beforehand, and I would have way too much tea at lunch. So I would just come in, and this is me on 3 right now. I was on 8. So Booster talks really, really fast, and it's going to be definitely my own spin on Booster, but. A lot of these guys are comedy writers, so they knew just where to go and have good setups. And he was a lot of fun because Booster just has to be fun. He's a little kid having a good time with superhero gear. It's like, what if you give a child a suit that can do amazing things? And that would be really great. Yeah.
Could Booster take down Superman?
No, Booster probably couldn't take down Superman. Superman, there's always the argument, why Superman? Because he's got the superpowers, and how do you ever beat him? And that's the only thing. So, no, Booster doesn't carry in his outfit any of the things that Batman does. I mean, I don't know if you saw our episode in the real, this is real, afterwards. Like, Batman carries all kinds of different types of, what am I trying to say? The, what?
Gadgets?
No, but where Superman is from. Kryptonite. Carries all different types of kryptonite, like a kryptonite ring. And these guys are so funny, they're like, why did you even make that? It's funny. But no, Booster could never be, he can never beat Superman in a real way. He doesn't have any kryptonite. That's what it takes.
Is Booster as fame hungry as he's been in previous incarnations?
Oh yeah, he's totally all about that. He's always taking selfies with Batman. And, it's pretty funny. Yeah. Anytime he's around Batman, like he's blogging the whole time. It's like always on his phone.
So he really idolizes Batman.
That's the pitch of this, is that that's the slightly different angle that they go in, and I actually really liked it. He has a total hero worship about him. The most interesting episode that we have, the full-on Booster episode, is that the two of them are paired up, and Batman shows him the responsibilities, how to be a real hero. And so it's a great storyline, because there's this child who wants to pretend that he's a hero, and Batman tells him what the responsibilities of being a hero really are. It's a good story.
Do you know when that episode comes up?
No idea. I just show up. I do my little talking time.
You do one episode at a time, or a whole batch in every session?
No, we do one at a time, although I think I did two once. I don't really remember, honestly. I'm very lucky in that I kind of stagger them throughout the day, and then I leave and I pretty much forget.
Is this very different than a lot of the other DC movies you did a voice in?
Say that one more time.
Is Justice League action very different than some of the other DC shows and movies?
Yeah, because of the knowing sense of humor. DC television is pretty good about having a sense of humor. The movies have no sense of humor whatsoever. So, really, grim stories with guys in tights. I don't get it. But you wouldn't think that would be funny at all. I mean, you think, well, I don't know. This is different in that maybe a little closer to like Teen Titans Go. So very fast-paced, very fun. It's different. Batman, I think, Batman Brave and the Bold has sort of lightened things up a little bit as far as Batman is concerned. This is a little bit in that vein.
Do you get to improvise at all?
Yeah, I improvise a lot. They were very open to it, and then I felt bad because the other actors wanted to improvise too, and they were like, no. But then I stopped, and they were like, no, Diedrich, do. And I was like, oh, really? We got to make it a contest. So,
Is there a lot of group recording?
Yeah, Warner Brothers is really good about bringing everybody in and doing it like in a horseshoe, like an old-style radio show. So you get to hear what everybody else is doing, and it's kind of fun that way. Also, I really love voiceover actors, much more than on-camera actors, because it's so talent-based. And if you're unpleasant to work with at all, they just fire you. So on-camera actors, you're kind of stuck.
So fired.
Yeah, right. I'll tell you. No. As long as nobody finds out.
Don't worry. No. We like that picture. No one will see it.
That's right. No one will see it.
Do you read the comics?
I do not. I wasn't a comic book fan. When I was a kid, I loved, when I was at camp, I would read the X-Men, but mostly because Storm was super hot. But if I brought comics home, my parents would throw them out. So, I come from a family of all academics. So I'm the only kid in my family without a PhD, for example, even my extended family. So being the idiot of the family, they wanted to keep that stuff away from me as much as possible. So the result of that was that I never really formed an allegiance with any particular comic. I did love, when I was a kid, we lived overseas, and I loved Tintin and Asterix and Lucky Luke. Those were I was allowed to read because they were French. Somehow, they're still comic books, but anyway, anything else my parents threw out. My son, however, is one of you know, one of us. He is really a comic book fan. I mean, the day when I gave him the action figure of Batman Brave and the Bold, and I told him he was the first kid in North America to be holding the action figure, it was like he had ascended to heaven. That was it, that magic moment. The clouds parted and the sun shone. It was like he just had a heart attack again. Yeah, it was great.
How old is your son?
My son is, wow, look what you've done with your lips. That's really cool. My son is now 12. And still, today he came as the Word.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is a DC guy I didn't know. But then, the minute you say he's the Word, he'll say he's the second iteration of the Word. Just to make sure that you know, not only that he's the second iteration, but this he's a total, I have no idea, but that he's a total comic book geek. So just to get his bona fides right out there.
Down pat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like when we travel, I tell the kids they can take one book. They can take their Kindle, but like preferably a paperback. But I'm not carrying like a ton of books around. They're heavy. So he'll come down with the DC encyclopedia. It's like one book. Okay, you found the loophole there. Well done. Yeah.
Hoping for War and Peace, but
Yeah. No, true story. He'll come down with the encyclopedia of DC. Yeah, we've taken it to Italy and Scotland, Ireland, France. Yeah, all over the place. Belgium. Yeah.
With you, a booster hole.
No, he knows I know nothing, so there's no really no point. Yeah.
Growing up in barley.
Yeah.
You ever crack yourself up in the booth sometimes?
Shamelessly, yeah. Sometimes I do crack myself up. But yeah, when they allow me to improvise, sometimes I'll. Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing about improv is once you pass the Rubicon of really you have planned nothing and you run out, and then you go a little past that and it's not quite as funny, and then you get to that golden moment where your brain is communicating directly with your mouth and it just is going, and you're sort of watching it from like a distance, and you're like, oh, that is funny. That's when it's really good. That's when it's really good. You don't hit that all the time, but it's good. It's sweet when it happens.
So, do you have a message for the fans of Justice League as they get ready to watch the new series?
Yeah, I would say buy the products advertised. Yeah, and the action figures, and ask for as much as we can do with merchandising. Yeah. Yeah. No, watch it. I think everybody's going to like it. We don't betray any characters, and these guys are real fans, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a mashup for everybody. I think it's going to be super cool. Yeah, I was happy to see the show today because we don't get to see it. That's one of the things people don't understand about animation. The actors, they just sit around and don't see anything. So to actually see it was really cool today. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.